Well, for Red Roof Inn, and as you may know, we just launched Red Roof Plus recently, and for us, it was about staying true to what we are, being an economy hotel chain, but providing an even greater consistency of product and an elevated level of service. And that really has told the customers that we're staying in that economy segment, but we've created a new area for them of upscale economy.
Okay, well, I think there's several components of that. The first thing is extension of the legacy brands, I think, is what I call natural progression. It's a very positive thing. As the industry matures, we're all smarter. As we identify more with consumer needs rather than our own internal thoughts, it's something that naturally progresses to vertically integrate and offer on a continual basis new product to the consumer market.
So I think there's a lot of brands right now that are creating just enough differentiation where it's not diluting the existing market, and I think it's a mix of things, right? I mean, I think all the brand portfolios are looking at, all right, what do we have in-house right now? So, for example, let's say Marriott right now. They just rolled out AC to kind of complement their upscale lifestyle segment. So I think they're hitting the niches pretty accurately, and I think there's a lot of room in the markets that they're trying to get into for that property to fit in where it's not diluting the rest of the overall portfolio. So for example, with that brand, what they're seeing is that will probably be right around the price point of let's say Courtyard, but completely different demographic with anywhere from your age cohort of late 20s to probably early 40s in that range. And it just seems like they have all of the right elements put together with what that demographic's looking for, so it doesn't have massive overlap with their other brands.
I think infrastructure is important. With a legacy brand, they already have systems in place that make them successful, so when they spin off into a new product, that's an easy transition.
You know, first I think it takes innovation, right? And you have to find a niche. If you could fill a niche that hasn't been filled already by another one of your brands, I think that's the key, so that the overall brand can perform better. So if you're one of these brands that doesn't have an extended stay concept and you create a offset to a legacy brand that fulfills some component of that, it's going to make you a lot more successful.
Well, I can speak from a lender's perspective about that. It really just all boils down to, I think, if you have the right operator with the right brand. That's the way that we evaluate, you know, when loan applications come in. Is this person qualified? Does he have the experience, he or she, to operate, you know, this type of property? If there's a big PIP, you know, are they capable of seeing it through and managing it properly? So, you know, I think that's very key, is do you have the right person operating, whether it's a legacy brand or an extension.
Yeah, I think you need to be very creative and take advantage of the loyalty that you've gained with the core brand. And being able to capitalize on those loyal members that are looking for a new product. For example, I think that the Hyatt Place is probably a good example of a brand extension that fit a business traveler's need and took advantage of a very loyal Hyatt customer. I also think that it's news at 11 for us, but with the launch of Red Roof Plus, we're filling a need to this the higher end economy customer that's looking for a better service and a newer product.
It's a good question. You know, brands have changed over the last several years. It used to be where a brand was you checked in and you sleep in a hotel bed, but brands have been forced to evolve with the times, and now it's about the experience that when you walk through the door. So as you see these new brands created, it's all about the experience when you walk through the door of the hotels. So, you know, what that experience is differs from brand to brand. So, you know, the ingredients is really up to the team creating it, and I think it's evolving over time.
I don't think there's one single answer, and I'll tell you why. I think there's a lot of brands now that have sort of separated themselves, and there's legacy brands, and if you look at some of the Hilton and Marriott products, they're doing really well. If you look at others, it's a long and slow process. So until they're able to get sort of a mass of people where the reservation systems work and everything, it's a little harder just to say there's one element. I think there's more than one element. There's a number of elements to come together in order to make it work. And once the mass is there, I think it can work, but it's a process of getting it there. And the way the industry is going, it's now becoming more boutique that everybody wants to go into. And so you see a lot of those elements that are coming in. And as a broker, we're seeing those, and we're saying nobody really wants to be the first one in. Everybody sees it. Developers like the idea because sometimes the fees and the structuring is good for them. But for the actual owner-operators, I think it's a little more than just one particular element that will make it a success.